If you want people to ask you, what are you wearing? You might want to start here. Welcome back to the video. Twilley's 2 cents here, and for today I got 10 monster compliment pulling fragrances for you guys. So if you want to know what those are, let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first compliment monster I got for you guys is coming from Armaf, and it is a oldie but a goodie, and we have Club de Nuit Sillage. Okay, so real quick, the thing about Club de Nuit Sillage, you get a metallic type of black currant note. You also have some ambroxan here, some ginger, and I think some violet leaf. This is one of those fragrances, while in my opinion it's not a wow type of a fragrance, it's just the way that this fragrance is done that captures people's attention. So I would say the thing that stands out in this the most, which would be that metallic kind of black currant smell. It's just something that kind of tickles the nostrils of those who are around you. And I would like to say that this can be a synthetic type of a fragrance with that ambroxan kind of being heavy, so definitely go light on the sprays. But this is one that you don't really want to dig your nose in. You just want to let those kind of bloom in the atmosphere around you, and yeah, just let people pick up on the scent. And trust me, you can definitely get compliments with this one. This one works well on my skin, and yeah, a cheapie and a goodie all at the same time. This Club de Nuit Sillage. Okay, moving on to the next fragrance. This is going to be coming from the house of Givenchy. We have Gentleman Reserve Privee. This fragrance right here is all about that iris, some chestnut, and whiskey. A very elegant, sexy type of a fragrance, one that is very suitable for date nights, and one that is a major compliment puller for me. For this to be a designer fragrance, you get a lot of depth here, you get a lot of warmth, and to me, Givenchy is one brand that does powdery iris type of fragrance as well. Get your nose on this one. It's been out for a while, and it's a very good one. One of the best in the Gentleman line, in my opinion. Alright, so next fragrance up on the list that we're going to be talking about is going to be coming from the house of Labo, and we have Another 13. So with Another 13, I would say on its own, it's a very nice, smooth, kind of like becomes your skin type of a fragrance, one that pulls in compliments and one that utilizes the notes of like pear very well. You're not really going to have too many other fragrances out there that use the note of pear, but this is one that does it well. And I would like to say, if you are one of those people that like to layer your fragrances, this is definitely one that a lot of people use to layer with other things as well. This fragrance just really, works easy with a lot of other fragrances that you may have. This is one that you want to experiment with, test out, or just, like I said, you can just wear it on its own. A very fantastic fragrance. My first purchase from Labo. Definitely wanted to get this one on the list as soon as I had a sample of it. Glad to have this in my collection, because this one right here is one of those ones when it comes to compliments. Alright, so real quick, if you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, because I have more videos coming your way. So you definitely want to be in tune to check those videos out. Alright, moving on to the next fragrance. To me, this is another one of those type of a fragrance that you can get compliments with, but I would say that it's more suitable for your time that you spend with your significant other, or if you're going out on a date night, things of that nature. That's going to be coming from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and we have Oud Satin Mood. So real quick about Oud Satin Mood, you have a powdery rose oud type of a fragrance that is topped off with this strawberry note, something that's unique and something that is a standout for the Maison Francis Kurkdjian house. Of course, we always hear about Baccarat Rouge, but I would say that right behind Baccarat Rouge, you're going to probably hear about Oud Satin Mood. If you haven't sampled this one yet, or if you haven't got your nose on any type of ouds yet, I would definitely say sample this one. And I would say that this is also a great entry to get into some oud. What better way to get introduced to the note of oud other than an oud rose fragrance? This fragrance right here is powdery, sensual, something that is not going to it's a fragrance that's very well-rounded and an easygoing fragrance, something that will have you still smelling classy but also sexy at the same time. A very nice fragrance, smells perfect in my opinion. And when I'm done with this bottle, I will definitely be getting a larger bottle of this, because this is one to definitely keep in the collection. Next. All right, so we're going to speed this thing up a little bit, and we're also going to be moving up the price range a little bit. And let's just talk about, these next two fragrances are going to be the ones that I mentioned in my last video. So we won't spend too much time on these. So first up, one magnificent power projecting fragrance that pulls in compliments for me is coming from the house of Unique Air Luxury, and it's Woud and Mood Absolute. Very quick, if you are into fragrances like Tom Ford, Oud Wood, or any kind of a Oud Wood type of fragrance where you kind of get that milky type of a oud smell, a very wearable oud, again, just like with Oud Satin Mood, this one right here is a very easy wear when it comes to oud. Nothing fecal, nothing skanky about it. Just nice, woody, relaxing type fragrance in my opinion. And this one right here, like I said, does project and it does pull in compliments. Don't sleep on this one. I know the price can be up there, but definitely, just take your time, snipe it on discounters and get it for a great price, and you won't regret it. Trust me, go and get you a sample of this one. Next fragrance up is one that I can say that I can see becoming one of my favorites, one of my staples, and probably one of my signature scents, when it's kind of a bit cool outside, but nothing that's going to be in high heat. And that's coming from the house of Bortnikoff. Again, we have golden saffron. And here we got some orange, some mint, lavender. We got a sugar note. Just to me, this has depth. It's warm. It's well-rounded. Again, it's a projector just like the Woud Mood Absolute. You may not think this one may be a big projector at first, but this one right here can be a powerhouse. If you're into things like saffron, tobacco, or any of the previous notes that I mentioned in here, definitely get you a sample of this one. This one right here is part of Bortnikoff's new entry collection. It comes with some other fragrances that I will be checking out and that I will be reviewing on this channel, but this one here, I'm glad to have this in my collection. Golden saffron, an amazing smell, and one that you probably haven't heard about yet, but trust me, once people start to get their nose on this one, you'll hear more about it. And my first time wearing this one, pulled in compliments with it. So yeah, golden saffron. All right, next fragrance I have coming up is going to be coming from the house of MDCI, and it is Chypre Palatin. Now with this one right here, I would say that if you are under the age of probably like up under 30, if in your 20s, your early 20s, your teens, you might not go for this right here because this is a more, mature type of a smell. Great Chypre fragrance. If you heard anything about like Raja's Diaghilev, if you sample that fragrance and you like that fragrance and you want a bit of a easier wear than Diaghilev, definitely check this one out. It's going to be less expensive than Diaghilev, and you have a masterpiece of a fragrance right here. To me, this fragrance right here is a combination of some exotic notes. You got some rose, you got some gardenia, tolu balsam, some plum. Just an awesome combination of notes. As you can see, I got a little bit of wear out of this one right here. This is one that I definitely like to wear around the house when I want to be in that, elegant, classy, sophisticated type of mood. To me, this is very relaxing. You get a powderiness with this one as well too. Just a great work of art. And this one right here, for me, the compliments come pouring in from my wife when I wear this one. So definitely, if you are in the age range of like 30 and up, I would definitely say check this one out. A masterpiece to add to your collection. Next fragrance up, sticking with another powdery fragrance, but for me, this is the king of powdery white floral fragrances. And that's coming from the house of Amouage. We have Reflection Man. So you already know when you hear about the house of Amouage, you're going to hear about probably the Blue Beast, Interlude Man. You're probably going to hear about Royal Tobacco, and most likely you probably have heard of Reflection Man. To me, this is another one that has to stay in the collection. Like I said, a magnificent powdery white floral fragrance that can smell, it can work wonders on a guy's skin. A lot of guys, especially when you're first coming into fragrances, you may not think of wearing floral type of a fragrance. You may not think of wearing floral fragrances, but definitely when you get into florals, then you get into some white florals, definitely check this one out. You have some Auris. You know how I feel about Auris and Iris. Magnificent combination paired with the white florals. You got some ylang ylang. You got some neroli in here. Just a handsome scent. That's the best way I can describe this fragrance, as handsome. One that for me again, and for you as well, that I would say that is unique and, you know, attention grabbing enough to pull in some compliments. Reflection Man from Amouage. Alright, so we're down to the last two fragrances, and these will probably be the ones that are more so on the high end out of everything that I mentioned on this list. And yeah, first one I'm going to be talking about from the House of Boadicea the Victorious is the Neiman Marcus edition 1907. Real quick, with 1907, the best way I can describe this, if you ever heard about the hype of, you know, Stephen Humbert Lucas's God of Fire, the one that's in that light blue bottle, and you heard about how much people like that one, and they try to compare it to this one, which I can see the comparisons. I would say that if you are a fan of the God of Fire type of scent profile, this right here you would definitely like. Now, the differences with me is, instead of that mango that you get with God of Fire, with this you're going to get that lemon and cinnamon combination, which to me, this is a sophisticated kind of an opulent type of smell, of freshie that can still go for all seasons, but you still have some depth in there, like I said, with spice from cinnamon, and you got some tobacco in this as well. Magnificent fragrance, and I'm just gonna let you guys know, even though this is a Boadicea fragrance, which can be very pricey, guys, you can find this for less than $400. I know this still may sound like a lot, but when you think about Boadicea fragrances, you know how high they can get. But definitely, this one right here will pull in compliments as much as God of Fire pulls in compliments. Check this one out. All right, my last fragrance up on the list is one that can be a divisive type of fragrance, but one that I would say, when you first spray it, don't just dive your nose into it, especially if you're not really a fan of aquatic type fragrances, because you kind of get that, you know, foamy, you know, sea kind of a smell. But if you get your nose on this one and you just let it do its thing, get into the atmosphere, you'll notice that the people that smell you or in close proximity to you will probably give you a compliment, and that is Aqua Sapphire. So with Aqua Sapphire, you have some pineapple, some rum, you got some rose in this as well too. To me, this is up there for my top 5 from the House of Boadicea, with my number 1 being Oud Sapphire, which I'll talk about in another video. But Aqua Sapphire is just something that works wonders on my skin. You spray it on. 2 sprays with this is really enough, because this is a monster when it comes to projection. Sometimes when I think I'm going light with this one, people can smell you from, you know, more than 3 to 5 feet away. So definitely be careful with this one. This is an amazing, fresh, aquatic type of scent that I don't mind wearing year round. I know a lot of people tend to go more, you know, sweeter and something with more depth and warmth during the cold winter time, but you'll be amazed if you try this one out in the cold weather as well. Just something about this one. Like I said, you get it, you test it out, spray it on. Your first inclination will be to do this, and you know that aquatic note may not be the most pleasing if you're not really into aquatics. But like I said, just step back, let this one fill up that atmosphere around you, and this one right here will take you on the ride. One of my biggest compliment pulling fragrances that I have in my collection, and that is Aqua Sapphire from Boadicea the Victorious. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed what I have for you guys on this list. With each one of these fragrances, for me on my skin, they have been great at pulling in compliments, and I'm interested in knowing, have you already tried out any of these fragrances? And also, what do you think your number 1 compliment pulling fragrance is that you have in your collection? With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. God bless and peace. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe, click the notification bell, and if you enjoyed the video, also leave me a like or a dislike, drop some comments, you know, stuff like that. And also check out one of these videos.